Reddit side, so I think I'm gonna have to start over here. Hey Shannon, it's nice to see you here, friend. Thank you for joining me. Mr. Guitar Man is back. I'm having a hard time hitting buttons with a single finger as it balances on the stick. Today's topic is gonna be about doing things versus getting them done. Second time's a charm. We are live on Reddit as well. Thank you for joining me, friend. What a pleasure. What a pleasure it is to be in another moment with you, friends. To be doing something instead of to be getting something done. I got to teach a yoga session just now, and one of the people that was taking the class with me, Maria, I guess I can say her name. She was talking about how in her current world she's been paying attention to how she might be rushed to get certain things done instead of taking a moment to appreciate them, to experience them fully, and how that awareness has served her. And I wanna bring that awareness into today's class as well, or today's stream as well, today's conscious evolution as well. Just as understanding that we can do things instead of just getting them done. And then if we do things, we can actually enjoy them a little bit more thoroughly. Hello, Mel, Christian, hello, friends. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Shannon. Thank you for joining me, friend. What a pleasure. Christian and Johan is having a conversation with Popcho. Popcho Tati. Popcho Vev, Vevjani. Difficult name. Bulgarian names are very difficult. This joint technically does not have any writing on it, but I do feel like we're going to set an intention for it now. The intention of doing things. Like even though I feel a certain way about this doing culture we have right now, right? Like instead of being human beings, we're human doings, that whole thing. But on the other side of it, I feel that with this doing mentality where we have to constantly do something or another, we do so many of these things just to get them done, right? Almost like in a fury. Sometimes a rush is good. Sometimes taking your time is good. I also think appreciation can be independent of time. Beautiful points you're making and bringing into the space, our beloved friend. I do believe it's a Mrs. Bleach. You're completely right, right? I do agree that sometimes some rush is necessary. But how can we transition? How can we transition into a world where rushing is less necessary? That's kind of like the idea or concept I'm playing with today. Not just how can a rush or rushing things, getting things done, be mitigated into a mindset of wanting to do things, like actually wanting to do things. And like, what's that gonna mean? How are you today, Mel? I'm feeling good, Shannon. I'm feeling a little bit uh, airy. I don't know if airy is the right word. Ungrounded, uh, spacey, maybe. Maybe. I'm looking for the right word. None of them completely colored the picture the way I wanted it to be colored. Aloof. Maybe aloof. I feel a little bit aloof. Floating through the infinity. Staying busy to avoid a spirit filled life creates unhappiness. Staying busy to avoid a spirit filled life creates unhappiness. Yo, J777. What a beautiful point that is to make, friend. I think I've seen you here before, but that is a beautiful point. I want to read it again. Staying busy to avoid a spirit filled life creates unhappiness. The words that are standing out to me in that sentence is a spirit filled life. The first question that comes to my mind is, what does a spirit filled life look like? And the way that I think about it is literally in everything you look at, there is a sense of spirit. You get filled with a sense of spirit. right? Like in the like the awe I'm experiencing looking at a palm tree right now, and the sun catching the leaves, those leaves reflecting in part, those reflecty bits waving in the wind and then shifting into a reflection that I can see with my eyes, that reflects into my eyes versus not the shadows it casts onto itself, right? Like there is so much spirit in just the experience of looking at a tree. And yet, if we don't allow ourselves the time to, we don't, literally. I feel like that all the time. Hello. It's a good thing, friend. And I'm not saying that you don't feel that way. I'm just saying that that's a way to be feel. You're like, yeah, Mel, a way to be feel. Yes, it's a way to be feel, friend. Literally, you as the feeling node of consciousness, right? Like if there is this infinite universe that we're a part of, and we're but these infinitesimally small little entities, we are that universe waking up as itself right now in this moment. And you can acknowledge, you can be in awe of yourself, of the things that you've done, of the things that you get to do, or you get to just keep getting it done, right? Oh, I guess I'm just gonna big bang a universe and get all of these life things done. No, no, we don't get things done, we do things. At least that's the way that I want to think about it. Hey Mel, Shannon, and friends. Diana, so nice to have you here, friend. How are you doing? How are you feeling today? I hope you're getting a little bit better. I know, or at least your family is. I know exactly what you mean. Maybe try some lemon water. Diana, I hope you are feeling better, friend. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon, for sending that love, friend. I appreciate that so much. I feel like that all the time. Ooh, silver? For me? For me, imagine, friends. Joe Bot makes things. Surely I have no idea who that might be, And yet, out of all of the people that this beautiful Joe Bot makes things person could have given their free reward to, deciding to give it to me. What an honor. I feel like I've missed or lost wherever we're supposed to find the free rewards. But it melts me just to see you being willing to give me that. I appreciate it, Jovan. It's something so small, right? It's literally pixels on a screen. And yet the implications of you being willing to do that, it makes me happy. Thank you, friend. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me. For doing this with me, right? Like we are actively doing this. Like we're in this moment, we're watching something, we're having a conversation. You get to share with me where you are, what it is you're doing right now, how it is you feel right now, and I can read those words and feel with you. Technically, I do believe we're in this moment together, even if you're not choosing to participate in a verbal way, because you're creating this experience by just hearing my words. So I appreciate you for that in and of itself, but let me know, friend. What's going on? How are you? How is life treating you? What do you think the future holds for us? Are you hopeful? What can you do? What can you do for the future right now? For yourself, even, as the future. To doing things of love instead of getting things done out of anxiety. Yeah, that sounds like the fractal completed. To doing things out of love instead of getting them done out of anxiety. Almost escaped. This is kicking my ass. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Like I'm feeling a little bit contemplative right now because today's topic idea came to me through a friend, who chose to share something. So it wasn't necessarily something that I got to plan or something that I got to flush out in my mind before I showed up to talk about it. But right now in this moment, I'm just thinking about all of the things I've done in my life, right? Like imagine for yourself, how much have you done in your life? And how much of it you wanted to do versus how much of it you did just to get it done. And just to picture it as a ratio in your mind right now. What ratio of things you wanted to do have you done? and what ratio of things you didn't want to do have you done, or at least didn't want to do and had to get done, right? And then to think of ways to shift that, to start to pivot that understanding, that feeling, that path, towards being able to do things that we actually want to be doing, instead of being in this perpetual catch up race of getting things done. South African. South African. I like spontaneity. Me too. I do. I really do. But unfortunately, spontaneity can come at the cost of comfort, and I feel like that's something that people don't pay attention to enough. Hello, friends, going to an outdoor foraging class with Kay Frana here in a bit. More learning about survival. Super pumped. I'm so happy that you're doing that, Siobhan. Like, if the world ends and there's like apocalypse level stuff, you have to keep me alive, Siobhan. I need help. I'm only barely surviving as it is. South African is right again, friend. What's up, fool? Hope all is well at your end of the world, Mr. De Jesus. It's nice to see you again, friend. It's been a while since you've tuned in. I'm vibing, dude. I'm vibing, I'm paying attention. I'm especially learning the lesson of planting seeds in the now. In not, I don't know if hope is the right word. I feel in preparation for harvests in the future. Hope for harvest in the future doesn't give me hope as a concept, but anticipation, right? Like I've been playing with that understanding as well. Like the reason we procrastinate is not because of something bad, but because of anxiety, right? Like we believe that things will be worse than we can imagine or we want them to be, right? Like it's this genuine, you're using a belief system. You either believe you can do something, and then because of that belief that you can do something, you look forward to it, you anticipate it. Or it's a belief that you can't do something, and because you believe you can't do it, an anxiety. And then just realizing how that belief in yourself, that power in doing things because you want to do them, instead of the anxiety that's attached to having to do them, getting them done in of itself. Thank you, good catch. I think I missed a few. My asthma is drawing things out. Terrible. But I'm walking today. How great to hear that. I missed walking my dog so much. Now, today, first walk. I think they'll love you so much for that as well. Hear the happy walking again. Good catch. Thank you. Me too. It was hard to just walk to the bathroom in the bedroom. Goodness. Like being able or not being able to like breathe properly can really do that to you. Just being grateful for our lungs in this moment. I feel like this a lot of days. I'm continuously trying to get so much stuff done, always trying to rush so I can relax. It rarely works out that way though, but it's easier to not get upset about it anymore. That is awareness. Thank you, Shannon, for sharing that awareness of us. Like I'm very much, and that's what I want to say to you, friends, as well. Like I'm very much in the camp of getting things done sometimes, right? Like I'm not pretending to be like, I only do things with extreme, attention always, and I never break that attention. No, I am striving for that, definitely, but I'm not even close to it at this moment. And like I'm really what I'm thinking about specifically right now, just to give you an example, is dishwashing. Like I very much wash the dishes to get it done. I don't wash the dishes to wash the dishes, if that makes any sense right now. So that's the thing I'm trying to pay attention to. To wash the dishes as like and I shared a little bit of this with Ryan. Like the last time that I've been washing the dishes, I wash the dishes in anticipation that my technically roommate right now is going to be happy to come back to a kitchen that is clean. So instead of getting it, and maybe I'm already trying to do it then, so maybe I'm not just getting it done. But then instead of being anxious, oh like, oh goodness, I need to wash the dishes. What if my roommate comes back and sees it? It's oh, I get to wash the dishes, and then he's going to be happier when he comes back. He's gonna have a clean environment, And just that mind shift switch, and it's an active process, unfortunately. And I think you're doing fine. Again, Shannon, to try and look forward with anticipation to the things you get to do now, and you have to do that more than ever, right? So to think like I get to do this now, like in this world, this is the roles that I get to play, and to play them with a sense of pride. I don't know if pride is always a bad thing, but to play those roles with a sense of pride, like to believe that I can do this, I can be a positive influence in this moment. I have four daughters, and Beshgana down and being down, I'm guessing. Beshgana sounds pretty radical though. And being down while I was sick made me want to plan less and go with the flow, enjoy the moments as they come. What a beautiful lesson that is, right? And to be like devastated, like weak, dragging through life to learn a lesson like that. That's what I mean when I say life sometimes teaches us the lessons we need to learn in the most brutal of ways, merciless sometimes even. Just stopping by to say hello to everyone. Those flowers are so beautiful, Mel. Off to groove some puppers. Thank you for joining us for a moment. They are beautiful. They're so nice looking. And the bees kind of like climb into those little tubulars. And they stay in there for a while even. Hey, Aiden. It's so nice to see you, Brother Bay. So much love to you. How are you doing? Yes, now more than ever, I have so much to do. Did grocery shopping last night. Yay me. But didn't get home till after midnight after putting everything away. Cleaning up. It was 3 a.m. and I finally got to bed. Goodness. I mean, maybe this is now the universe pressing buttons again, teaching you another lesson again to try and push you out of your comfort zone, Shannon. That's the way that I'm interpreting this information right now. Very true. I can't see my follow asthmatic. It's probably in the YouTube comments. Thank you, friend, for like being so curious. I don't know if it helps, but when I'm afraid or stressed or anything like that, I feel consumed by my attachments and feel consumed by my attachment. I try to go inside myself and expand out. I find the place in myself where I am not stressed and I walk the balance in between the stress and awareness of no stress. So like the imagery that came to my mind as I was reading your words, Aiden, was seeing myself almost like as a third eye, watching myself as a person, and then going like intersecting myself as a person and being in like my mind space, and then like acknowledging the vastness and potential, minusculeness of my mind space in comparison to the infinity, and then zooming back out from there, seeing my body, then seeing the planet, then seeing the solar system, then seeing the galaxy, then seeing the universe, and like every single level of that getting smaller and smaller, and then you attaching your current stress response of what's happening in your world to that understanding. Thank you, Brother Aiden, for sharing with us, friend. I'm open to learning the lessons the universe is trying to teach me. What a beautiful statement that is to make out loud. Savina, you do the dishes so your roommate doesn't have to because you are thoughtful, as Uncle Becky and Aunt B would say. Guard your focus. Thank you, friend. Thank you for the love. Yeah, I get that, but I'm trying to be even more mindful about it, Savina. I appreciate you sharing your mindfulness as well. I have stacks of planners. I find my best days are done, and I didn't write them down. Congratulations, Shannon. Thank you for that encouragement, Diana. Yeah, sometimes it works that way. Sometimes we can flow so beautifully without any plan to. We can allow the inspiration to strike in the moment. I feel like that's the one bottleneck we have as humans right now, the translation between inspiration, motivation, and execution, right? Like when you have that extremely cool idea and then the motivation to try and execute that idea, even just the motivation to take out a pen or your phone to record a voice message of this idea that you're having, and then eventually the execution of this idea. Sometimes it will take us decades, friends. Sometimes it will literally take us decades, and that's okay. I'm I feel like that's maybe the lesson I'm here to learn as well is patience. I look forward to building something over the next 100 years with you friends, and just to see what we're capable of if we actually show up for something for 100 years. What will become? Who knows? But we get to find out. Hey, Melty, says a pineapple cube. Long time no see, friend. It has been a while. Huh? Suddenly, I'm sad. Guilt trip, guilt trip. Manipulation. So much love to you, Fred. It's nice to have you right now at this moment. Even though it can feel like, we've been separated for a long time or we haven't been in this moment for a long time. And I share this understanding with friends that I have phone calls with sporadically as well, is that even though all of this time has passed, when you're in this moment again, when we come into this space again, it's almost like there's no time passed, right? And even though, sure, I've done 500 and now 34 of these streams, I'm only doing this one. I'm not trying to get a certain set of numbers done, getting it done. I am doing this. We're doing this right now. So I appreciate you for sharing even a moment of your time with me. Even if it's 10 years down the line again, I'll see you on that side. Savita, thank you, Diana. That's a remedy for that, Mel. Impatience. Yeah, no, I know. Um, like impatience. So the thing is, I have this whole probably shotgun theory that the reason I chose to incarnate, if you want to use that word, in South Africa is to learn patience. Like nothing works the way that it works in the Western countries here in South Africa. Our shipping is kind of whack. They cut off our electricity occasionally. They're not cutting off our electricity anymore. Yes. There is. I'm still waiting for packages sent in February from America. So, like, I feel every single thing in my life has just continually been pushing me towards learning patience. My time in China, gang patience. My time working in AV, gang patience. My time being homeless in between those two jobs, patience. Right now, patience. Patience for what we all know is coming. Like there is such a rush these days to get things done, to get somewhere, when we're already there. We're already there, and in this moment, we've chosen to be here. You cannot be anywhere else other than in this moment. Like you have never, ever been anywhere else other than in this moment. Your awareness of I am here. You might have aged, you might have met multiple people throughout it, you might have become whole new people, right? That I consciousness and the idea it has of itself has completely changed over decades. Probably every single decade, whole different person again. So just acknowledging that change is the only constant, that transformation is the only constant, and that in this moment is what you need for transformation. That you are actively transforming. And you can choose to transform into a being that is more capable of love than less of it. Right? And I feel the current society we live in, I don't feel it's intentionally trying to numb us to feeling, but it does have that effect. Like we have so much stimulation in our environments these days that feeling normally can be difficult. So you can say that human beings like to feel things, so we've created these hyper stimulated realities. But at the same time, feeling in that way ceaselessly is indicative of us not feeling, or at least us feeling worse at the tail end of it to create some sense of balance. What are we doing? What are we doing? How much of it can we keep doing? I don't believe in living in denial of things on any plane. If my body decides to be afraid, I find awareness in myself, and in that awareness, I am not afraid. There is fear, but I am not the fear. Exactly. It's like And the way that I've like heard someone say that was very beautiful, it's like a dong, you know, like a sound, like you hit like a crystal bowl, and it makes bong, and then it fades slowly, right? And you can create a fear response around this thing that arises and then slowly fades away, and your thoughts, your fears, your illusions of grandeur, your understanding or belief that you're not worthy of love, that will also fade away. And the more you keep ringing that bell, the more you keep dropping that pebble into your ocean, the more you're going to have to keep paying attention to it. And you're going to be like, oh, what's this? What's this little story? I keep telling myself again. Oh, I'm not worthy, am I? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I can't find love. All right, okay, if you say so. Oh, abundance is impossible. Oh, the world is fucked. Oh, if you say so. No, oh, no, stop. We can do so much. I think I've missed a few of these. Yes, there are a lot of people who pretend to get things done. For what? For the story of it. You know, they only want their story to be a certain way, but they want to tailor the story that you tell yourself about them. Being completely present is a huge challenge. We often fantasize about the future or commiserate the past, but we only have now. Live for the moment, people. Peace. Ooh. Editorially, you're in tune, Brother Bay. Thank you for sharing that truth from your heart, dude. I feel that. Today I have to trap a couple of refugiate, refugated poglors. They are a pain, but I'm thinking positive. I have absolutely no idea what words you just used, but good luck? Not good luck? Go in love? Maybe that's something I can say. Hall, thank you for sharing that, friend. Since February, I thought Royal Snail Mail was about taking the piece of Ina. I'm still waiting. Ryan actually wants to send me the things he sent me again. That's how frustrated we are at this point. You're hitting it on the head, Mel. You have no idea. My gratitude moments included so much of your words. Friend, I'll continue to say this until I die. And please, if I stop saying it, remind me to say it. This is you, right? I'm like making sounds. I genuinely I believe that our bodies are almost like antennae to consciousness, and the more I try to melt my attachment to what I think of as myself, the more I feel, at least, certain understandings or truths can flow through that space. And when I let that stuff flow and you hear it and it feels like a truth to you, that is you, right? Sometimes I don't even remember what I just said. I legit say the words and then it's gone from my mind, you know, and then it can still be in your mind. It can still create an experience. It can still have like an echoing, a ripple effect in your consciousness. And then when you communicate that, create another ripple into my world, the reason you're doing that is because you're the creator of that ripple. You're the one who had resonance in that moment, and then from that resonance felt that ripple and then chose to put that ripple out into the world. And on the most fundamental level, the thing that gives me the biggest ripple is love. It's like, oh, I could throw doubt into this, and it like creates these craggly, you know, kind of unsatisfying, non-predictable frequencies, if you will. And then I throw love into it, and it makes these, you know, these always like, so imagining these little intricate objects, you know, three-dimensional intricate objects with holes in them falling into a medium, and every single one of these intricacies on this three-dimensional object channels fluid into like one way or another, almost like texture sticking out of it. And then those fluids, as the little object falls into the water, creates these turbulences or like little overlaps with itself, creating depth, creating reflection in the water that it splashes around it. Am I? I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense to me either. But that's the way that my mind is trying to understand it. So instead of it just being a smooth, you know, simple pebble, it is this complex geometry creating, and of course, in my mind at least, when it falls into this pond, it does it in slow mo. So all of these intricacies almost like flower out of the water, like it, and then it, yes, of course, sure, yes. So in my mind, love is true because it creates the biggest ripple effect in my understanding and my feeling in this constant energy that we are well, like feeding back into the universe. And if you love the universe and you love your experience of being alive, I feel like the universe loves you more for it as well. It's like you loving life, life being you means you love yourself, means life as you loves you more. Whole trip. Thank you. It's like affirmation of my intuition and higher energy. You got this. I'm a part of you out in the universe saying the things that you already know. So much love to you. I think so far this intrications lesson has been this incarnations lesson has been perseverance. Hmm. So when I said the lesson I'm here to learn was patience, Aiden said his incarnation is here to learn perseverance. Being able to keep going, keep going. And then you keep going some more. And then you go, and then you keep going. Show up another day. And then after showing up that day, you show up again. And then after never stop, never stopping friends. Keep showing up for love, please. I'd like in every moment, just try and find it at least once a day. That way, like we'll keep finding love in every day. And if we can keep finding love in every day, every single one of us, things have to change. It can't help but. I'm in awe of this plant in the background. Is that aloe vera? It is. It matches the scarf. It's so. It's. I feel like I'm part of nature right now, sitting in front of this plant. Seriously. And I don't know if you can see it, but it has these pink-colored tips. They're gorgeous. All of it is so beautiful. Thank you for like tuning into that as well, Jovan. Matches the scarf. I would never let any more than a year pass without seeing you, Melty. Oh, thank you, Fred. Thank you so much for the love. That's why I keep showing up, right? Doesn't have to be a year, but it can be, ideally, right? Like it's just I just imagine you not showing up for like 11 years and 11 months now, and we're. What do I look like as a 35-year-old? No, no, stop it. So I was like picturing myself as a 35-year-old, and I was like seeing myself sitting in this moment as a 35-year-old, and then in this moment, then I saw a small little entity running across my field of vision. Looked like a child. So, hey, hey, stop running with scissors in the house. Come here, come sit here. Freaking holds on to me. Are you going anywhere, little dude? No, you're gonna try and kill yourself while I'm streaming or something. Oh, then you know, Pineapple Cube tuning back in, and me being able to tell this little Meltian, if you will, you know, this friend has been there since the OG days, since the start of this whole fractal that I'm still experiencing. Oh goodness, casting our minds into the future. What am I actually doing other than this moment then? I'll just have more responsibilities. Mm. What's up, older me? How about it, dude? I'm free in comparison to you, dude. He doesn't like that. He's like, yo, laugh, laugh, Lacker. I'm trying to, I'm trying to. You're hitting it on the head. I think so far. Again, thank you, Aiden, for sharing, friend. Mel should have been a style guru. Yes, makeup and the works. I mean, who says I can't still be a style guru, Sovina? Maybe at one point, right? I don't know if I'll be a style guru. Definitely not, probably. But I would like to make clothing. I imagine the transition going. In the next 5 years, I actually have my idealized clothing brand, and I'm going to make it a product that you would actually want to buy. It isn't going to be merchandise necessarily. It's more going to be premium clothing wear. You know, something in my mind, something you buy once every 10 years. Like you want your clothing to last 10 years, and you want to be able to, after the 10 years, still be able to wear it and be like, I got this 10 years ago. You know, people complimenting you still on it. Like I have this whole fractal in my mind, and then do that for like probably uh probably like 11 years, and then at the end of those 11 years, we're probably going to have transitioned to different clothing. We're not going to be wearing casual like material clothing anymore. Probably most of it is going to be integrated. Just like wearing technology, literally. And then I imagine in that state developing design for your technology clothing. You know, so yeah, all of it. Sofina will be style guruing as well at some point. Who knows? Toasty Melosty with the wholesome. So nice to have you here with the bear. Oh, hi to you, Joel, joining us as well, even on B. So much love to you, friends, as well. Thank you. I'm dragon. I'm a dragon. I'm dragon. My buddy friend. Got my mind excited about it. Maybe to take on another day. Ready to take on another day. Thank you. Jovan practiced with us as well this morning. And it's such a cool thing, right? Like I got to practice on grass today without a yoga mat. And that was like a whole adjustment as well. Interestingly enough, my wrist didn't really like that too much. It was like, bruh, where is our solid support system? And I was like, it's grass. It's grass you're on. No solid support system. I sure did. Could use a few more hours. How about you? I also didn't sleep a lot last night, interestingly enough, Joel. I only went to bed like 2 a.m. and I usually don't do that. I don't really like to, at least. Same. Finally crashed about 1:30-ish. And woke up at 7. Same. And then watched a bunch of funny videos. Sounds like a vibe. Thank you for sharing with yourself. Why are you smirking? Scarer, why am I smirking? Because it's something that I like doing. Alright, you don't smirk to get it done. Okay, I need to get my smirk quota in. At least 22 smirks in one stream. I thought Christian was coming up closer. I find the late, early hours the most peaceful, so it's worth to fight the tiredness. I've thought about that quite a bit, Joel. And share with me what you think of this theory. The reason I think those hours are a little bit more peaceful is almost on like a consciousness channeling level, right? Like in your area, man, like this is gonna be very woo woo ish out there, but let's imagine it as an alternate universe. In an alternate universe, there are a bunch of beings, much like you and me, and these beings have this conscious experience almost streamed into them, right? From the infinity, this collective point where it creates a torus, and then that torus goes and expands into the rest of the infinity. But right now, here in this moment, is the channeling point, the point of convergence for that energy to flow through. So when we're active and we're awake, that energy point basically draws directly from the earth, right? And you're moving and you're stirring this infinity. I think of it in, or in this universe, there could be interactions with dark matter, for example, where these magnetic waves is literally you stirring dark matter, creating these turbulent flows, influencing all of infinity in and of itself as well. But then, during these early hours of the morning, because these individuals who would be normally channeling this energy from the universe is kind of sideways, not moving about a lot, and on top of that, not pulling as much conscious, right now to be conscious in this moment energy, there is a less interference with the amount of connection you can have with all that is in those early morning hours. But that might be absolute insanity. I mean, in this other world, it could be completely normal, of course. I find the late and early hours, I've already won. The moment, this moment then, seems like such a beautiful quote to me. This moment then. This moment then. It is beautiful, you're right. Thank you for sharing that with me as well, for allowing me to say it out loud. Not crazy at all. I feel the same way. Interesting interpretation, right? I do think it's a way to look at things. And the way that I've been at least thinking about these things as of late is that I don't have to be right about anything because all that really matters is my current perception of what is happening. Right? If I feel a certain way about the nature of my reality and I get to be in awe even if I'm completely wrong, at least I'm still having a good time being in awe of reality, right? Like maybe reality is, I mean, right? Like that's the paradox as well. Like reality is simple from a fundamental place, from a view of love, and yet the complexity that arose from that simplicity, the fundamental simplicity. I mean, like just looking at the amount of diversity in plants around me right now, it's surreal. The amount of diversity in us as human beings, even. Now we have to do a group hug and dog pile to show our collection love for Savina. Just like straight up, come here. I don't think that she's much of a hugger, so I'll always threaten her with my love. That's beautiful. I do it to just get it done, son. I know, Uncle Becky. I do know, Brother Bear. It's so nice to have you here, though. I mean, like, is that sustainable? That's the question that I'm asking, really. Is sure, sometimes we have to do things just to get it done. And yet, the most beautiful experiences can be in actually doing something, being so engrossed in the active process of it, enjoying what it is you're doing, taking your time with what it is you're doing, versus the anxiety driven, almost like frantic nature of having to get things done. And which energy, if we extrapolate it into the infinity, is going to serve us in finality, right? I can like, keep just getting things done with this nervous energy, chaotic, angsty, jerky, right, fast moving, potential to hurt yourself type of state of mind, or a calm state of peaceful awareness where you move with grace and you can, pay attention to your body as you move through the movements, pay attention to your anatomy, the way you keep your body posture. Like that that's the thing, that's the two ideas, the two feelings that I feel is battling in my mind right now, and noticing how I'm both, right? Like I have the capacity to be in both of those states very much so, and just what state I want to be entertaining, Uncle Becky. I appreciate you for sharing that right there, for instead of getting things done right now, for doing this. I appreciate it so much. So true for me, it's the stillness, no needing or wanting to be had. That's the thing for me as well. It's so beautiful. You're doing it, love. Yes, he is. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Toast Malost. You passed. He passed. Poop. Foot. Beep. Boop. Poop. Poops. I need this as a request for me to pass the bread. My friend, I agree with you about the theory. If you haven't already read it, I suggest Morphic Resonance by Rupert Sheldrake. I don't think I've read that before, but it sounds fascinating. Would you be willing to send me the name so I can add it to my book list? I have uh, so many books that I still have to read. So many books, exactly. So peaceful. Take one to smell one. Yes, it does. Tubes hat. Thanks, darling. Thank you so much. A dark pile of what? Actually, I don't want to know. I think maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need to know. It is 4:44 p.m. where I am right now. Mm. Breathing 4:44 p.m. breath. Seeing 4:44 p.m. light. Hearing 4:44 p.m. traffic sounds. And little electric fence short circuiting. The little. Hearing the rustling of palm tree leaves at 4:44. Still 4:44. Seeing the blueness of the sky. This is 4:44. I've been tripping out about the synchronistic numbers. Oh goodness, it was just goodness, like 444, 444 on that, little timer as well as I looked at it. Like thinking about these numbers, not only in the context of they look synchronous, but within infinity, if every single moment has a place, or at least in the way that we think of time has a place, that a number that looks synchronous might be more powerful in a gravitational way. Maybe it even looks good to you. So there could be more convergence in that little number, and as soon as you pay attention to it, or you just pay attention, those convergences happens in your mind. And like I feel when you do things instead of just getting things done, at least in my personal experience, I see more of those synchronicities show up. Is when I take my time. We all have our motivators, beautiful choices to choose from, and every single one of us gets to experience the way that we want to on beat. That's the beauty as well. Like I don't know what you need. Nobody can. Only you can. Only you can make those decisions for yourself. Awakened anarchists are my common sending. My Reddit has been weird. They just that one just came through, but that's the first one I've seen. It's nice to see you, awakened anarchist. Thank you for joining us, friend. I see this one, a dog pile. At least here in the Western U.S., it is when your friends or family tackle you as a group to show affection. Of course, getting group tackled for affection. Goodness. Like I'm just imagining like the shots, like these rugby tackle shots of like people's complete access, right? Like usually the human access, the torque axis kind of like walks like this, right? You lean this axis forward to move, and then some rugby tackles, this person's axis just goes like whoop, shoo, squoo, as this person, takes them off of their feet. So getting affectionately, what's the exact word you used? Yeah, show affection, affectionately tackled. In my mind, instantly came up with the most ridiculous of imagery. Just like getting actually killed with love. Straight up get killed by love. This is like, oh man, I love life so much, and then this group of people that love you so much just it just takes you out. Goodness, maybe that's too morbid. Thank you, Joel. I'm loving it. Reddit is wonky for everyone right now. They are doing their best. Tag the youtube.com. We have YouTube as well, friends. If this is too wonky, if you're having a hard time getting your comments through, we have a YouTube as well. Irony. Wait a second. Irony. I live near a road 444. We drove past the road 444 on the way here. There was even a like this. We drove past the road 444, and the people like for some reason didn't put up their 444 number. So there's 445, 443. Then there is this gap, so I know which building it is, and then there's 445, and then there's like I think 3 billboards that had 444 on them in their numbers, like their contact numbers, a couple of 44s, and then I think the car that we stopped behind today had another number on their little number plate, which was also some more 444, and I was like, yes, synchronicities, beautiful. Oh, loving the long walk by the lake. It sounds so amazing. My dog is happy. Uh, Me getting COVID affected him too. It does. It unironically does. Coincidence, not irony. Yeah, coincidence is right. The universe that we live in, you, literally you, like you, are the universe that you live in. Your body is the vehicle into the universe that you live in, made up from the universe that you live in, experiencing the universe that you live in. And then as soon as we acknowledge that that is the fact of every single person that we interact with, every single, one of our family members, every single one of our friends, our colleagues, our loved ones, that they're in the same trip as you, friend. Every single person, planet Earth, is in the exact same trip as you. This trip of being. looks down and I see hands instead of seeing all of the other infinite amount of appendages that I've had before, or not seeing anything at all. You know, maybe just seeing abilities to affect actual space time. Maybe even living in a realm of existence where there's just pure potential energy as plasma all around you. And you are just the ability to manipulate different magnetic frequencies, and you can just whomp, 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 swamp, swamp, swamp. You know, and that being your reality. Because in this moment, that's who you are. In this moment, you are who you are, experiencing this moment. And you've never experienced anything else. Never. You've never experienced anything else. And then we're rushing. We're rushing like there is another experience to get to. We're rushing like we're gonna reach a certain saturation point. Oh, I'm gonna be so here right now. Wherever I am then, you know, only if this amount of things happened, if only this amount of time passed, if only I had this technology, then, then I'll be completely present. Start doing things, friend. Start doing things instead of just having to get things done. And now that we have some, you know, friends here again in the space, today we talked about this understanding of doing things versus just getting things done, where we have this anxious energy where we're perpetuating just doing one task into another, even to the point where we literally wake up and the first thing we do is we start to put something inside of our consciousness, right? Words, music, imagery, food, music. Like, I think I said music twice. Like, whatever. It's so rare, like these days especially, that we have a moment with ourselves because we're getting things done. And I feel when we start to just do things with an intention, with a attention, when you're paying so much heed to just where you are right now, and that you can grow. Yo, see, yo, like the amount of growth that I've seen you friends experience. Full tardy, how much have you grown? Friend, how much? How much? I cannot even fathom how much I've grown. Right? That I'm like only in what my 20s. How much could have you've grown? How much could all of us grown as a collective? How much have you become? How much have you experienced? How many different, you know, understandings have you had of your world, of your place in the world, of the people you spend time with in the world? How much better have you become at the different skills that you enjoy? How much more loving have you grown? How much hardship have you been able to transcend, you know, survive? And then to understand that you're so capable of so much more. Like that's what, friend. That's what we're doing this for. Really like an influence, an anticipation, excitement for the human potential. And Reddit is wonky for everyone. Thank you for the tag. I appreciate that. Wonky. If you come to Texas, I'll lend you a taser and pepper spray so you can resist the hugs. Yes, see. If I get pepper sprayed and tasered by trying to hug someone, yes, I'm not gonna have a good time. Like I'm actually in pain just thinking about that. Upping the love level there. I'm imagining a taser, but instead of electric, it shocks you with a dense amount of hugs. Hmm. Like I'm imagining some sort of sci-fi reality type of gun right now, Jovan, where it gives you the sensation of a hug, right? Like the squeezing down of your body in like a certain set of accesses, and then it creates that force, and then you can like multiple hug someone, and it then adds those forces. That sounds like a fun gun to use, but it sounds like a very not fun gun to have someone you don't trust use on you. I imagine Sophina changing her mind about hugging, but forgetting that she's holding the live taser. We're going to be in for a shock. Sounds like a trip. I mean, you know, the first experience I had with tasers was at school, where they had like these little fairs that they would put up in our football. We called them rugby fields, and they would sell these little small, very small, like they're that big tasers, and they wouldn't really do damage to you as a person. So kids would just run around tasing each other in the ass, with these things. Kids, So like that's my. So I've been tased. I've actually unironically been tased before. It's not that bad, but it's very small taser right, added, right? That's the thing that I feel I should be paid attention to. Keep the fantasy to yourself, Savina. Everyone collapsed in a paralyzed cuddle puddle, and Savina is just standing there all wide-eyed, looking at her hands. Both of them now suddenly are tasers. Taser hands. Savina have created a reality for herself where she could never hug another person again. Every single person she hugs, she just ends up tasing into a contorted mess. What are we doing, Savina? I don't know either. I'm imagining that if you, I'm imagining that if you boop on B, it triggers an automatic hug response. I'm imagining now, like after you just said that, Savina, Aunt B like sleeping under the blankets, and then you like woke up in the middle of the night, and then you boop her on the nose, and then she goes like. Yes, I love that. Wouldn't doubt it. Going in for surgery now. Can't. How can I make this happen? Impulsors? No, I don't think impulsors. It's a dog pile. Probably more psychological conditioning than surgical procedure. I know, I'm a hypnotist. Squirmy, squirmy, squirmy. You are feeling so loved, so powerful. Every single one of your life's possibilities are becoming manifest right now in this moment. You are growing more powerful than you could have ever imagined, and you are helping more people in that place of power than you could have ever thought possible. Every single person that comes into your life is struck with such an awe of love and serenity that they leave with a sense of serenity and love. Did it work? Are you hypnotized? I'm trying to be as well on B. Can be outclassed. I used to make tasers out of old disposable cameras when I was little. Charge the flash, and it was good to go. That's some chaos energy right there, friend. Oh goodness, tasing people with a disassembled camera. I'm just imagining this like, and then thank you, Fred, for sharing that. That sounds like a whole trip. I also particularly enjoyed taking things apart when I was a kid, but I didn't repurpose them. In hindsight, maybe that would be cool. I kept the motors, I guess. Taser hands kind of sounds like Force Lightning from Star Wars. I approve. Okay, that does sound cool, Sovina, but the imagery that my mind generated was just you with hands as tasers. Like Edward Scissorhands, but instead of Edward Scissorhands, it's Sovina Taser hands. You can like either have like mini tasers on each finger, but I just imagine two big tasers, almost like oven mitts. I'm good in my mind. I'm sorry, Savina, taking you down the rabbit hole with me. That sounds beautiful, Diana. So happy that you're and the men, Duggars giving you the love along the way. I'm happy that they can share that loop with one another. It's nice to have you here, the bearded Katrian, Brother Dan. Nice to have you, man. Brother Dan actually sent me a photo recently. It was I believe it was flowers. These kind of like down pulling leaves, and there's just a little frog chilling on the inside of this leaf, looking, basically at the camera. And I'm just imagining, what that little experience would be like, to have your whole world be this great expanse of almost like giant walls of greenery, and then these, amazingly colorful flowers fractaling out of these things, and it provides a sense of safety, maybe some moisture, some coolness. Being a little frog sounds like a vibe. Hey, Ninja Peach, Eden, such a pleasure to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining me. Transcend all the hardships. There we go. Absolutely. Yes. I'm grateful to be here. How are you? So much love. I'm grateful to be here and alive. Thank you for still breathing, friends. Ooh. Thank you for still showing up. Thank you for still being present. If I was an artist, I'd totally be drawing Sylvina Taser hands right now. Sylvina, so, Sylvina, Sylvina Taser hands. Alternate universe Sylvina, where she was in a freak accident, and she lived in a very yikes neighborhood. So her mad scientist dad decided to give her tasers for hands. The backstory makes it more yikes. I'm so sorry, Savina. The moment I read Taser Hands, I also thought it was Edward Scissorhands. Exactly, Pineapple Cube. That's the fractal I'm going through right now as well. Remember the good old days when it was easy to change your broken phone screen. That was only like 3 years ago. Dang curved screens. Hey, Peachy Peach. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the reality we're facing right now. We are in the last few generations of the smartphone, though. That's maybe something to pay attention to. The art must exist someday. We need to make it happen. We can. Like, potentially, it already is somewhere in the future. Thank you for being here for us, friend. Thank you, Professor Goo. Thank you so much, Brother Bear. Like I'm showing up for this love that we get to share with one another, and to receive a thank you, from you in that way, even though it might be perceived as something so small, it means so much. So thank you for showing up as well, friend, for tuning in and for being in tune. I've been begging Emma to watch this with me. Edward Scissorhands. Man, I should watch it. It's been literally decades for me at this point. I don't think I think I watched it maybe when I was like 7. So it's almost like 2 decades now. Popping in between coaching sessions to get a dose of the melt and send some love to you all. Sending some love. Love to you, Mr. Mindful. Have a good time coaching those beautiful individuals. Coaching consciousness, but the Bay. I see you and I appreciate you for the work you do. So much love to you. That'll do. Creepy Darth Sidious smile. That's maybe a little bit much. I had to try and replicate the words that I heard though. Good to see you again. So much love to the Mindful Fab. Thank you so much for the love as well. I write back at ya. You, I fash. Love to you. It's actually good. Peach, thank you. Thank you, friends, for joining me here today, for sharing these moments with me, for being present. I see we have a few friends still here in chat. Let me see. Little brother Dan sent us a message saying the little frogs gave us a glimpse of a new perspective. I too like to imagine his point of view and consider his struggles too. Like that little dude is living in a dangerous world, brother Dan. Being a little frog in this world, everything wants to eat you, dude. Everything. Snakes, birds. I mean, maybe not everything. Most things would like to eat you as that little froggy dude. You're so soft and squishy. So you definitely live in a world of struggles, and yet some of them still transcend all of them. They still do it. We can do it too. I do believe that. I genuinely do. Melty is secretly a Sith and been working on his evil laugh. I mean, like evil laughing can be fun sometimes. Apparently, laughing just, even if you're pretending to laugh, creates a good visceral response in your body. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I love you all so very dearly, Mel, Christian, and friends. As we love you, beloved Shannon, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It was such a pleasure having you. Have a good day. Good luck. Good luck with your adventure, Shannon. So much good luck to you. Melty is giving a your love, everyone. I have nothing but love for the Haywire tribe. Hope the family is doing well. Thank you so much. Mindful. We love you, Brother Bear. Wasn't too bad. It's insane. I remember about a year or so back, it was more expensive to replace the screens than it was to replace the whole phone. Yeah, like I feel some of these companies have like these trade-in offers at this point where they take your broken phone and they give you a replacement because all of the the tech is still inside of that phone. So there can be like some sort of refurbishing networks that's starting to happen. Like ideally, we hit a point of like peak smartphone, saturated smartphone, and then we start to treat them in the way that we treat our computers right now, where we, leave room for replaceable hardware, keep the same phone, change the specs as you go down the time. Shanners and franners. Oh, I love that so much. Javan. Love to you. Eternal blessings. Sending love to you, my friend. Wasn't too bad. Got the War Tribe. It's insane. It's massive and moving. Reach across vast distances directly through ethereal connection. Love you, brother, with my whole heart. But the goo, I can feel it. I can actually feel it. That love we can have, that we can share with one another, I believe is what connects us. It is like within this infinite noise, that love draws us into that, point of awareness. And you cannot help but feel it. You cannot help but see how that, continues this acceleration towards living in a loving way towards one another. We're going to start to see. We're going to start to see ourselves, really see ourselves, and love is the way. That is the way we see ourselves. Like, you can only see yourself truly if you look at yourself in the mirror and you actually want to keep looking at yourself. That is from love, right? Otherwise, you try and avert that. You look at yourself, really look at yourself only from a place of love. And then to understand that that extends into your external reality as well. The people you see, the plants, the dogs, the clouds, the trees, all of it. You. You. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for the love so much, Professor Goo. Snuck in late, typical Peach. Just like, just wants to like, oh, okay, yeah, love is true, and like melt more, and okay, all right. Dodges again. Love you, Eden. You are here now, and that is important. Sending Kira burp, so much love as well. Thank you for that on beat. I appreciate that. It's when I am down here, so I'm gonna head off. Pineapple Cube, sleep well, friend. Sleep well. Thank you for joining us. So much love being sent. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for the heartwarming, Professor Goo. Showering burp with all of the love. Kira burp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Love you, Kira burp. Thank you for joining us, friend. How is Annie today? I hope well. Recently out of the hospital. It's the most thoughtful general ever. And thank you for the seal of approval. Again, for the heartwarming. Thank you. You, friend. You're the reason this is a thing right now. This is live. So, if not for you in this moment right now, this moment isn't right now. So just thank you. Whew. We have a Patreon. You friends probably know about it at this point. Follow the profile. Like if you really want to see these streams, following the profile might be a good idea. Might be harder and harder to find them. I appreciate you, friends, for choosing to spend some moments with me today. Have a lovely time. Love yourself. Love the world as yourself. Love yourself as you can love the world. I love you. Cheers, everyone. See you again tomorrow. Beloved friends, eternal blessings, eternal hugs, infinite hugs to you. Love to you, friends. Cheers, everyone.